That's the calcarine sulcus here. That's the parieto-occipital. Okay, so this is the parieto-occipital and this is the calcarine sulcus. This is the calcarine sulcus and this one is the parieto-occipital sulcus. And along the depths of the calcarine sulcus, just in the depths of the calcarine sulcus is the primary visual area, and going laterally both above and below are the visual or the psycho-visual area or visual association areas. Alright, so from here the fibers, you can see this is the thalamus. Can you see? Look at this. That's the thalamus. This is the anterior end of the thalamus. That's the dilated. This is the dilated posterior one, which is overhanging like that. This is known as the pulvinar. Okay, this is the anterior narrow end, which will be related to the third ventricle. And here you can see this is the overhanging posterior dilated part. This is the pulvinar. So fibers will finally relate to the pulvinar of the thalamus. And they are connected to which part? The superior colliculus and the lateral geniculate body. For vision, for hearing, medial geniculate body and the inferior colliculus. Alright? Now, so in this specimen, what you're seeing, look at this. Look at the relation of the thalamus. That's the anterior end of the thalamus. This is the posterior end. Can you see this dilated part here? That's the. Can you see the dilated, smooth posterior part? That's the pulvinar. Look at it, this specimen. Can you see that? That's the pulvinar of the thalamus. So you can see this is the anterior end. This is the posterior end. And here what you see, this is the medial surface, a portion of the medial surface. And you can see medial surfaces of the thalamus is related to which ventricle? Third. So the pointer is there in the third ventricle. And this anterior end, look at this, it limits the anterior end of the third ventricle or the interventricular foramen. Look at this. This is third ventricle, this is the lateral ventricle, and here you can see the third ventricle is communicating with the lateral ventricle. So what will this be? That will be the interventricular foramen of Monro. So anterior end is a landmark to the anterior end of the third ventricle or the foramen of Monro. You can see that? This third ventricle, and you can see choroid plexus. Look at that. This is the choroid plexus. Right? Can you see that? Tuft of thing, that's the choroid plexus. So this anterior end is placed right at the region of the interventricular foramen, the anterior edge of the third ventricle, and medial surfaces of the two thalami form the lateral boundary of the third ventricle, right? They form the lateral boundary of the third ventricle. And here you can see that's the lateral surface of the thalamus. Look at that. It is separated from this nucleus. This is the lentiform nucleus. This is the lateral surface. This region here, because this is caudate nucleus, right? Our thalamus. We are just concentrating on the thalamus. Okay. So this is our thalamus. All right. So there's a band of V there, the white matter here. You can see the anterior limb. So this is the anterior limb. This is the genu, and here this would be the posterior limb. You can see the posterior limb more clearly on this side, right? This is the posterior limb. So anterior limb, the genu, and the posterior limb. So our lateral surface of the thalamus is separated from this nucleus. What is this nucleus? That's the lentiform nucleus, by means of intervening which part of the internal capsule? Posterior limb of the internal capsule. So the lateral surface is related to the internal capsule and the lentiform nucleus. Alright, so these are the relations of the thalamus. Okay, so here you can see this is the anterior limb of the internal capsule, which is placed between the caudate nucleus and the lentiform nucleus. This is the genu, that's the bend, and here you can see this is the posterior limb placed between the thalamus and the lentiform nucleus. Now other than these three parts, the nucleus, it is placed like this. Other than these three parts, it also has two more parts, the lentiform part and the
Sublentiform.
sublentiform part. Alright, the retrolentiform part is connected to the visual pathway or the visual radiation, optic radiation. And the sublentiform part is connected with hearing or the acoustic radiation. So one is retro means, what is the meaning of retro? Something placed behind. So where is the retrolentiform part placed? Retrolentiform part is placed behind the lens, just behind the lentiform nucleus. So retrolentiform part will be placed behind the lentiform nucleus. And the sublentiform part, as the name suggests, sub means placed deep to it or below the lentiform nucleus. So that will be hidden beneath the lentiform. So you can't see that. So these are the two parts which you exactly cannot localize. What you can see on the specimen are the anterior limb, genu, and the posterior limb. The retrolentiform part and the sublentiform part you won't be able to. Retrolentiform, of course, you can see by means of these radiation, because retrolentiform is connected to which pathway? Optic pathway. So here you can see what is this? Optic radiation. You can see the optic radiation arising from the retrolentiform part and then going to the visual cortex. So this band of white matter, what you see, that is the geniculocalcarine tract or the visual pathway.
It's on the temple.
No, here you can see on the occipital lobe. On the temporal lobe you see the auditory radiation. Alright, so here you can see this is the optic radiation. Geniculocalcarine